Welcome back to Joe Rad Trades. This is my morning overview for December 18th, 2024. SPY is still in this range that we talked about earlier, which could possibly be a bull flag. The SPY is also waiting for a Fed decision. The markets have the decision priced in as a rate cut, and the Federal Reserve does not want to surprise markets. So I think that at this point, we will get the rate cut. However, inflation has been sticky, so that possibly means next year we probably won't get cuts. These cuts will increase inflation over time. So as inflation runs hot, we're going to see the Fed slow down on these cuts. Price can move in either direction before this rate cut and into this rate cut. We don't know which way we're going to go. I will say that it's been a tough market. My entries haven't been hit because where we would normally go above entry bars, we're now just pulling back away from them and never actually entering the trade. So there's been quite a few of my one good trades that just never panned out because we never hit the entry. A couple other things that I saw in the market was that Amazon is looking pretty climactic. We have some free bars here. We are riding this band, so it is possible that we see continued strength. As the market pulled down yesterday, the SPY, we saw Amazon pull down as well. It did show some strength by protecting this level here with buyers. There is an inside bar here, so this is a possible entry long if you want to get into tech. But to show you what Google looks like, Google is the same. We have these bars just kind of going up really fast, and they're above my channel here, which tells me that there's possible climactic behavior. Now, as far as other stocks that look good and prime for entries, I'm looking at Affirm, which is a consumer stock, and this makes sense. If we cut rates, I could see us going right above this, continuing higher very fast. The one thing with this stock is the spreads are a little wide. They're not terribly wide, so just be careful. You might get an entry past the entry point here if price moves fast enough. Another stock I was looking at is Kodak. Spreads are a bit wider. You could see 705 and 753. It's primed for a nice breakout here with this nice inside bar. The one thing I do like about both of these stocks is that this bar is a bull bar while the SPY pulled down drastically. The SPY printed a small bull bar. You have to also consider this gap down as part of that down move. So overall, the move was bearish in that range. There are more consumer stocks showing strength. If you look at Roblox, not your typical consumer stock. Individuals do spend money on Roblox. I would look at an entry something like this, waiting for the Fed decision. I'll cover now my one good trade that was actually entered last week. We kind of trade. I reduced risk here. It was just a tough trading environment, and this stock was not necessarily moving with the markets. It was kind of moving with them, against them at times. And we saw this nice good bar. I thought we really were going to get a run up, and we just kind of fell flat. So my typical holding time is 3 days, and we held a little bit longer than that. And I'm just ready to get out of this trade. So I'm happy taking a loss here. Now was yesterday's one good trade, and we never actually entered. So I actually moved the entry right above here. This might still be a good stock to get into, even though we see weakness in tech stocks. A move above this bar, this inside bar, could get us to where we want to go. Shop I had on my list yesterday, and we actually made a nice, really good bar here. So if you got entered, good for you. And I said this was a safer entry up at this point. So you could have gotten entered in yesterday, and hopefully this continues up to the upside. PayPal was a trade that I got into yesterday. It initially showed strength and then just pulled back down with the market. So this is another consumer stock where they provide lending opportunities for consumers and buying point of sale systems and stuff. So I fully intend that if we get a rate cut, we should see this go higher. If not, we might see this drop to my stop, which is no big deal. Today, I think a good stock to get into might be Lulu. This was an earnings gap up. There are some free bars. I can play the earnings drift, so this might be something to get into. What I would do is take my entry, my stop right about here, and look for a 1-to-1. I could see us getting up at least maybe double topping before we go lower if the stock was to go lower. Another consumer stock looking strong. So these are the 4 that I was looking at, and that's it for my market review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Good luck and good trading.